3, 2, and 1.
Welcome to the Game Case, a show for,
well, anyone that plays World of Warcraft.
The show rife with ramblings, tips, tricks, and goings-on in WoW.
Here's your host,
Chris Case.
Well, hello, hi, howdy, and welcome to episode 61 of the Game Case. I'm Chris, also known as Cuddles, a brewmaster monk on Airy Peak in the Convert to Raid Guild. This week, we're going to talk a little bit about our weekend gaming, answer some questions from the Cuddle crew, and then we're going to talk raiding in Legion because I have the honor, nay, the pleasure, of having my very good friend, an amazing raider, the lady that surprised me live on my Twitch stream with a moose run. What? Raid leader of Just Wipe It and host of the Overplayed podcast, among a multitude of many other amazing things that she accomplishes, both inside and outside of Azeroth, the wonderful, the amazing Wickedella. Wicked, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Woohoo! I love it when people are excited. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing makes for better conversation than me repeating back the adjectives that you use at me. So I'm going to try to continue doing that. So thank you so much for taking some time out of your extremely full schedule. How was your week of life?
It was good. It was good. Did a lot of Legion and a lot of work. I'm not on vacation anymore, so I had to go back to work, and that cuts down on the leveling. Kind of sucks.
Well, that's not fun. It's not fun, but work is good, right?
Yeah, work is good. Work is good.
Right on.
It covers the WoW time, so we're good.
Right on. So why don't we dive in? Oh, as to my week of life, guys, if anybody has been around the last couple of weeks, it's been crazy. It's been nuts. Cuddle wife was gone for a week. I cannot handle adulting when my wife is not here. Like I am an overgrown 33-year-old baby. And nobody was here to give me my bottle. I had no idea what's going on. I threw a couple temper tantrums and like made messes. That's basically all I accomplished for like the last couple of weeks. I do want to start off real quickly and apologize for the lack of consistency with the show. We're going to be getting back on the train starting tonight with the lovely and incredible and amazing Miss Wickedella, of course, and we'll be coming back with more content next week. We're going to keep it going, keep it rolling. So I do apologize. Sickness and Cuddle Wife being out of town just has not been good for my sanity. But why don't we dive into what we've been up to this last week within or outside of the Blizzard universe? Wicked, why don't you start it off? What have you been doing with gaming specifically? What have you been up to?
A little bit of Overwatch and a whole lot of Legion. Oh
Nice.
my gosh. Been gearing up the hunter, getting ready to raid, leveling out the Disc Priest, which I'm really enjoying, and getting that one ready to raid because I'm actually going to drop the hunter this expansion. No
Really?
more hunter. Yep, no more hunter.
Oh, wow.
Yep, it does not make me happy. I don't like it.
Yeah,
that's but it's always the first character that I take through a new expansion, so I have to keep up with tradition. But I have not enjoyed playing it at all since launch, so I'm switching to the Disc Priest.
Wow. Nice.
Yep. I've had a lot of fun with that, man. These suckers can't kill me. I can get 3 or 4 on me, and they still can't kill me. It's crazy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Disc Priest OP, please nerf Blizz.
No,
you heard it. You heard it here first, from right out of the mouth of Wickedella. And if we have any Disc Priests listening, if you get nerfed, you know who to blame now. That's exactly what's going to happen because Blizzard listens to this very, very, like with very sharp ears. Disc Priest equals best class in WoW. So I've been doing kind of like the same thing, although not nearly as much Legion.
Yeah.
I'm up to 105 on Cuddles, and
Okay.
after figuring out how, like, I remember in Warlords, like, I didn't go through the expansion of Warlords, but I have leveled a couple tunes up to level, and I just remember, like, it was so much quicker. It was that lack of content that everybody talked about,
Yeah.
and it seems daunting. So I think I've honestly been like a little bit like, I want to get Cuddles to 110, even though I'm not planning on raiding with him.
Right.
He's gonna go sit in Pandaria. He's gonna find Lore Master Cho, and they're gonna start up in their artisanal cheese business for this expansion.
Yes.
And then we may come back. I mean, Cuddles may make his triumphant return to tanking. Next expansion. But as for right now, he's a little too out of shape. He's had a little bit too much artisanal cheese and brew to consider wind walking. And he's horrible at healing. He doesn't like it. He actually just ends up scratching people. So, like, I got to bring up something else, and I just don't know what I want to do. I have a demon hunter that I thought I would, but the thought of Legion in the expansion, the expansiveness of the leveling experience has been kind of daunting. Like,
It's
and
a little
not at all
rough.
what I expected.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Like, I expected by the end of the first week with reasonably, reasonably all right amounts of playtime, I could be damn close to 110. And it seems like I've put. Well, my problem is also my OCD and my hey, there's a shiny. That's why I'm only at 105. I found everything in Azura.
Yeah.
I found everything. There's nothing else there. I found it all. Like, I completed all the main things, and I was like, "Oh, shiny! Oh, piece of candy." So I don't know. Maybe I just need to get my mind right and actually love. But this is something. It sounds like I'm complaining, but this is such a good problem to have. Maybe we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But guys, that means it is time for questions from the Cuddle Crew, and we got one question this week from the lovely and wonderful. The person responsible for giving me the Dragon Con crud, even though I didn't go to Dragon Con, the wonderful Squinty Eyes. And Squinty asks, question for the show. With the new Legion zones that scale to your level, do you think we could get a large-scale update in the future to make older zones scale for new leveling experiences with new tunes?
Good question.
That is a wonderful question, Squinty. And Wicked and I like kicked it around a little bit before the show, which like you totally shouldn't do when you need spontaneous, compelling conversation about something on a podcast. So I'm just letting all my secrets out tonight. But no, we talked about this, and I'm like, no, Squinty. No. And I say that I say that because yes, that's actually, it's a wonderful idea. It really and truly is.
It is.
But I think we're probably underestimating the amount of work that would take. And I don't think I don't think when we have a raid tier that takes 6 months to come out, but you get scaling Burning Legion zones, can you imagine the amount of rage that would exist on the internet because they were working on old content and not giving us new stuff, and that's not new content, that's old content. But no, we gave it to you in a new one, an interesting one. No, it's old content. Like, internet rage plus resources plus quite frankly, I don't think they need to. Would it be a great amount of fan service? Yeah. Would it bring anyone new into the game? I don't know. Wicked, what are your thoughts?
Well, my leveling experience from 100 to 110 has been just fantastic. Even as I'm starting to overgear the 110 content, um, it's still solid. I still have to kind of watch sometimes and not pull too much. But I don't think it's going to bring anybody new into World of Warcraft because it's already a little daunting thinking, somebody's never played. Man, I got 110 levels I got to go through. They're going to pay for a boost, just like most everybody is paying for a boost right now if they want to get a character up. But I don't think it's going to be conducive to a good leveling experience. If somebody wants to go through and level the old content, they can go through with no problem. You can go mow everything over and keep trucking and get to the new stuff and finally have something that's going to hit you in the face a couple of times. But I don't think it would be good for Blizzard to do something like that.
Yeah, yeah, and I think you have to the big thing for them isn't would this be cool and interesting. It's I mean at the end of the day, yes, they get to do cool stuff like this is cool and interesting.
Yeah.
But their main driver at the end of the day is will this content extend or gain us new subs?
Right.
And will the lack of this content lose us subs? Because I mean that's at the very end of the day, if nobody's playing World of Warcraft, but it's perfectly this wonderful, amazing, magical game, cough cough WildStar. Can't believe I called WildStar amazing. You can build a great, big, awesome game that some people love, but if nobody's playing it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I should probably stop picking on WildStar every week. I've never played that game. I knew nothing about it other than it was supposed to kill WoW, and it didn't. So
There's been a lot of them that are supposed to kill WoW and they can't do it.
But no, and the one other thing is I think that this expansion was designed specifically around the scalability. Mm-hmm. So you can go here and you can go there and you can go here and it's all one story. Imagine if as a new player you came in actually wanting to learn the story, not like I did and just ignored all the quests and had no clue what was going on by the time I got to Draenor.
Oh my gosh.
I've since gone back and remedied a lot of that, but my leveling experience was getting there very, very quickly. Or as quickly as I could. It was quickly for me. It was horribly long. 32 days played, I think, to 100. I'm kidding. I don't think it was that bad. It was probably close, though. But imagine as a new player, you know nothing about WoW. You watch the Warcraft movie. It comes out in, 10 days from today? 9 days?
Something like that. It's
next week?
Quickly. Might be next week. Quickly. It's very soon.
So you go out and watch the Warcraft movie and go, oh my gosh, there's a video game about this. And they have an ability for you can go here and then you could go there and then you could go there. And it all scales, which us as older players love because we go back and experience the content that we want to. But what if you went and did the starting zone, like Goldshire stuff? Because I'm going to have to talk Alliance side. You did like Goldshire and then you went out to the farm and then all of a sudden you're doing Wrath dungeons. And then you're in Draenor. And then you go do a couple things from Burning Crusade. And then you hop over and do something from the Cataclysm. And you just take these, you would end up with these little disjointed chunks that they would have to fold into some sort of Star Trek-esque pseudoscience time relativity, the graviton, the gravimetric interference is coming in. Like, I don't know how they could. I'm sure they could, but it'd be worth them building a story around why you could hop around and do all the old content.
Yep.
It would almost have to be like its own mode of a game, and then again, why? So Squinty, I'm sorry that we took your beautiful thoroughbred of a horse and then both killed it and then beat it to death after killing it.
Yeah, I just don't see the benefit of it. It's more a nostalgia thing to make the older content scale so you can still go at max level and counter, go kill things out in Goldshire or Westfall or Orgrimmar or wherever you want to go, Duratar. I don't think it would be conducive to a good questing experience for a brand new Warcraft player.
Yeah. No, and Squinty did say clarification like Legion, you'd have to hit level requirements per expansion. I still think that's difficult, and I don't think you'd be able to adequately tell the story. I mean, think about already in game playing with heirlooms on. Mm-hmm. Like, you just miss stuff. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, you literally skip like almost entire continents. My biggest problem when leveling with heirlooms is figuring out where the F I'm supposed to go next. Because you out-level a zone halfway through it, and then you're already out-leveling the next zone if you try to, like, and then you don't have the quest to unlock the next place. And I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I just don't know. I think it would be great for us, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think... I'm sorry, Squinty. I'm sorry. I apologize. But thank you. Thank you so much for the question. Guys, if you're wondering, well, hey, why does Squinty get to ask a question? I have questions that I would like these people to answer randomly on the internet and give me their opinions because obviously they have worth. You can do it. You can. I believe in you. Go to bit.ly/Cuddles Discord. That's bit.ly/Cuddles Discord. And there's a little chat channel called Questions for the Show. Just put your question in there. Get it in before 9 p.m. on Sunday, and we will answer the question live on the show. So thank you guys so much for the questions. Yeah, make sure you get your questions in for the show next week when I'll have a random guest that I haven't booked yet because I do that on Fridays. That was so much fun. Thank you, Squinty. Why don't we go ahead and jump on in to the meat and the potatoes of the podcast. Wicked, before we do a deep dive into raiding, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who is Wicked?
Wicked is a marksman hunter, the raid leader for the Just Wipe It Convert to raid team. We are normal heroic and are actually looking to get into mythic this expansion.
Woot!
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. We were just a few people short last expansion to be able to kill Archimond on mythic. So this time recruitment has been really, really good. We got a good solid team. Looks like going into Tuesday's raids for Emerald Nightmare.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. So, that is very, very exciting.
Yeah, now, the whole team is excited, so it's good. We took a break in February because we were really tired of looking at Archimond, and it's good to see everybody coming back. And only lost 2 people out of the original 15 we had last expansion, so didn't do too bad. The core came back, so I was excited.
That's awesome. Now, since we're talking a raid team, everybody's gonna want to answer the answer to this question: Are you guys recruiting?
We are. I'm still recruiting.
What nights and times do you raid, and what are you looking for?
We run on Tuesday and Thursday from 6 p.m. Pacific to 8:30 p.m. We actually shorten the time because my work schedule changed, and I have to be up at 4:30 in the mornings. Ooh. So I'm still looking for a couple healers and a couple melee DPS.
Ooh,
just depends on the class. I mean, we got a couple warriors, but that's okay. I can handle another one.
You want a level 103 demon hunter?
Bring it on.
Hey, you carried me through the last expansion. Why not do it this time?
We did not carry you.
It was I'm still kind of sad. I think I did get an Archimond kill right before Legion with the Rubber Chicken Coalition. Mm-hmm. So I got I was playing on my demon hunter. And he had, like, if you remember the pre-expect Demon Hunter, they had, like, no talents or skills or ability to live. So I did it on the floor, but I was in the room when my raid team killed Heroic Archimond. So I can say that I did complete last tier. But no, Wicked, if you guys didn't hear the beginning of the show, Wicked was kind enough to surprise me with a moose run very late into the rating time in
Before the nerfs, though. Before the nerfs.
yes, pre-nerf, and I was alive the whole time and actually like did work. Like I did things. I had to stay tank because they were like, well, you're not going to tank because you're not one of our tanks, and I can't. Like I'm not gonna. You don't go into a team for a carry and they're like, oh yeah. Why don't you tank this? And I had no other spec, so I third tanked and did nothing on Heroic Archie. It was great. It was a really good time. So guys, make sure you check out and listen to the end of the episode. Wicked will have her contact details, or if you want to cheat, you can always fast forward. We'll have her contact details at the end of the show, where they usually are, or in the show notes if you're listening on the download. And reach out if you're looking for a raid team. They are on US Airy Peak, as a lot of the folks that I talked to in the Convert to Raid Guild. So make sure you check them out, and I'm looking forward to see Mythic out of Just Wipe It.
I'm looking forward to it too. We're really, really excited. We wanted it a lot last expansion, but it just wasn't in the cards. But thanks to Tur Arts and her amazing recruiting events that we've had, we've come up with a lot of good people, and so many people have come back for Legion that I've had them coming out of the woodwork, and I've had to turn a couple people away. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I've already got, I have 3 tanks already. I can't really use another one. I'm sorry.
Oh man, and that is such a cool thing. After going through kind of the extended amount of content in Warlords of Draenor and sometimes struggling, I know Just Wipe It didn't suffer from it as badly as other teams, or maybe not until later, but struggling to even field a raid team towards the end of like especially coming up towards Legion for many teams. And now to hear that there's an overwhelming amount of people coming back into raiding, as is always, but it's very exciting to hear.
Yeah, we'll see how many of them stick around. I'll obviously, after 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have to do a weeding out of some of the trial people if they're just not a good fit, or if it's just not working. But we took a break in February, and I was really surprised to see as many come back as they did. But out of 15 people, I only lost 2. I cannot complain about that at all. That's
beautiful. That's an absolutely beautiful thing. So let's we're already talking about rating, but we got what? It's Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday, we're gonna be raiding again.
The 20th, Emerald Nightmare.
Or those that actually are at level and went and got gear. We'll be leveling. We'll be raiding. But no. So you have your team ready. You guys. So your first raid night would be what? Wednesday?
Tuesday.
You're raiding Tuesday night. That's the idea.
Tuesday night.
Wow.
Everybody's ready to go. Everybody's between 840 and 850 with their gear scores right now. Like we've been pounding out the mythics and the mythic dungeons and getting gear and the world quest and stocking up on pots and flask and all that fun stuff.
Wow. So there's a lot of evidently there's several people in the chat room that are going to be raiding on Tuesday. Draymond, is Rubber Chickens raiding on Tuesday? I'm not going to be ready, but I expected that. I fully expected being a couple weeks late to the party. But now, what should people? We're obviously, maybe for those like me that are a little bit behind, or maybe for those that have 110s and they're like, hey, I want to get on a raid team. Like, what should people be looking to do to prep? Maybe if they miss this first week or 2 of raiding, what do they need to do? Where do they need to get their eye level? Where do they need to get their artifact? What needs to happen for them to come to you as a raid leader and go, hi, I want to raid? Because obviously, although you were very like, hey, bring it, you obviously don't want my 103. Actually, my 103 wouldn't be able to get into the raid, I'm presuming.
No.
So I'm probably not bringing that or my 98 assassin rogue.
Hey, you did alt raid with that with us too.
He's dangerous. All 1900 of his DPS is extremely dangerous. He would have been great if he was doing the same thing back in like Burning Crusade, maybe. But not in Draenor. So yeah, what should people be doing right now?
You should be doing your world quest and mythic dungeons because your gear drops from both of those. You get a chance to proc up to 850. You're gonna be set, ready to go. That's priority. And make sure, first and foremost, don't blow your order resources for your class order hall on junky missions from your scouting map. It's not like your garrison table. You're going to need those to get your artifact power research up so you can get your artifact weapon geared quicker.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, it's not like your garrison table. Don't just send them all out on these wonky little piddly missions. You want to save those because the final set of artifact research and your class hall upgrades takes like almost like 40,000 order resources. You want to be banking those. Only do the missions from your table that you absolutely have to do for your class hall quest.
So the fact that I've now run myself completely out of class order resources at 105 because I didn't play for a week,
Yeah.
but darn sure played my Legion app like
sure
it
you
was
did.
my garrisons.
A lot of people have been doing that.
So I'm crap.
Yep.
You
Because
know what though?
the
I
six-
think I may have leveled up based on XP. I may be 106 now, so I may be a little bit closer. And I damn sure I'm sitting on like probably 2,000 artifact power, at least.
Wow.
Because I burned through like 10k, probably close to 10k in class order hall resources.
Yeah, you can once you hit 110, you can do your world quest and you'll start banking back up your
Okay.
raw resources. So
Can we just call them garrison resources so I have to
No.
stop saying all these
No.
things?
the G word is a bad word.
I liked garrison. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way. I think if Blizz had done, because one of the things that I consistently said throughout Draenor was why don't we have a mobile app? Why don't we have a mobile app to do like this? This lends itself so well to a mobile app. Like, let me do this on the potty. Like, seriously, let my garrison be my productive toilet time. And I don't get why they didn't. I don't get why I feel like people would have been less salty with everything if they could have played Garrison Craft on their phones. Like people still would have been salty and they would have been like, man, I haven't logged into WoW in 6 months. But I bet you they wouldn't have dropped as many subs. Because people would have been salty in 6 months when they realized that they hadn't logged in. But maybe not for the 6 months because they were still able to do it and then log in and raid. And, I don't know. That's a complete and utter aside. So you need to be banking your class order hall resources.
Yeah, because that 6th level of your class hall upgrade is going to take like 30 to 40k resources by itself.
Okay.
And when you start doing your artifact research after you hit 110, you want to make sure that you always have 2 of them going because they take like 5 to 7 days each.
Oh, Jeebus.
Yeah, you always want to keep 2 of those rolling.
Wow.
Yep.
No, let me ask you this. What crafting? Do we need to be buying and or leveling up our crafting skill to make gear, or has it already become irrelevant for raiding? Is it like what? Where's crafted
because
gear
you
at
can
right now?
upgrade your crafted gear up to 7 times, I believe it is, with the Obliterum Forge to get the dust to upgrade those. But I know none of my guys have been doing it. Everybody's just been grinding out the mythics and the world quests.
Oh. No, okay. Bruce said that his order haul only took 15k. And then I run to drink is saying that some classes are at 9 or longer days. Good lord.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Wow. Well, that's pretty crazy. And Bruce, even if you can farm resources from 0 to 10, I mean, I imagine that's not Like something that's like all day. I mean, when you talk about the average player, which, let's be honest, the vast majority of players statistically would be average.
Yes.
I think that's what works out. I think that's why it's average. I don't know. I can't math right. I don't math well, but I mean, the average player is not going to spend 15 hours or 12 hours,
No.
or to take 12 hours of game time that some of us will put in a Saturday, and say to the average player, "Oh man, you can do that in the day." It's just not, most players, if they have 2-3 hours in 3 or 4 days, that's a lot outside of raiding. I know I was struggling even with the amount that I was playing in Draenor. I was struggling with keeping up on resources and gold and just everything that I needed for raiding, because I'm bad.
It's a time management thing, but like even with me working a full-time job through the week and those 2 nights of raiding, on those 2 nights, I don't do anything else. And then I record my podcast on Wednesdays. So that's one day that I lose in WoW. So I lose an entire 3 days just in the evening time. And I only get on the other nights, maybe 2 to 3 hours after work to play. I don't have the time to go mess with all that crafting. I'm worried about getting the quickest gear that I can get. And that's through Mythic Dungeons and World Quest.
Yep. No, Mythic Dungeons. Tell me about these, because this is it's something that was around, or is it totally, like, I don't remember dungeons in WoD. That's how memorable it was for me. Is Mythic Dungeons? I just don't want to misspeak. Is Mythic Dungeons totally new? Like, it's totally new,
they were
right?
their last expansion.
Okay, those were the stupid things that we had the dailies for in our G word. That we had to go and do sometimes to get crap that we didn't need 8 months into it?
Sometimes.
Okay, cool. I remember those.
They're just like heroic, where you can queue through the LFR system to find a normal heroic. They're just like those, but you have to walk into them. You can't queue up for them unless you use the pre-made dungeon group tool.
Okay.
And you have to actually physically walk in the door.
Oh, wow. Oh, I remember these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, I did some of those. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and there's two this expansion, the Archway and Quarter Stars, that are gated behind Nightfall and Rip.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are they...
And they're mythic only.
Do they have specific gear? Like
only
your what level pants?
Same level.
Okay. And they all have like an equal, like, you don't have to go to one to get your hands.
No.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Crafting for pots, flasks, all that stuff. Has it gotten harder? Has it gotten, like, are you finding, has there been any grumbling on your team?
Like we've got 2 people that are in charge of doing our cooking. We've got 2 in charge of pots and flasks. Everybody is split up. Now everybody's responsible to bring their own, but to help out the team, we've got like 2 or 3 people helping with each aspect of it. So we make sure that we have enough to cover the team, because it's not that easy to cap everything out to 800 this time around.
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely been, profession questing has been interesting. And I Run to Drink said that there are 2-piece sets. In Archway
and Quarter Stars, they have like it's like a neck and a ring or something like that gives you like a little bonus. But
is it big enough that everybody needs to be chasing that down, or is it this for the min-maxing? I'm going to pretend that I play world first.
It's not that huge of a difference, because, well, obviously raids are going to start Tuesday, and there's no tier in this one, but you're going to get better gear out of a normal or heroic raid.
Okay. So go out, do your world quest. Don't spend your garrison. Sorry, your class order hall points. That just rolls off the tongue. It's just I can't. I'm really looking forward to saying that for the next year. Class order hall points. I don't know, something like it's sticking in the back of my. Anyway.
Just say resources.
Spend your resources, homie. You gotta spend what you get out on the streets. All right. You be out there working on the corner of High Mountain. You bring it back. You stack that up, man.
Yeah, be
You don't
careful working on the corner at High Mountain because you're going to fall off a cliff.
Don't be spending that on all them crazy orcs. I
No,
see
you
you
wanna-
over there
you
near
wanna-
Orgrimmar.
You want to
doing your
feed the
thing.
crackheads in Suramar. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, feed them crazy little night elves eating up on that mana worms and stuff. I watched them. I know what they're doing. Just up in it. But stack up that Skrilla, guys. Stack it up. I feel like that was wildly inappropriate. Let's continue. Let's move on. I feel like the more that I do this podcast, the more horribly I embarrass myself on the internet. So I appreciate everybody continuing to listen. So all right, hold on to your class order resources. Do the mythics. Do the world quest. And that's pretty much it. Find a great raid team and profit.
There you go.
All right.
I just wish it was that easy.
Yeah, it's that easy. It's that easy. No, let me ask you, since we are coming up on Tuesday and World First is something that I enjoy covering as much as we can. Allow me to make my frequent lament on the fact that we can't just do this on ESPN because I really just want to like see it. But I totally understand people have to,
Yeah.
they can't show their strats to the other
Keep
team.
the secrets.
And it makes sense, but it's like, can we just follow them around and do like a documentary and do like a movie on it when it's out? Like,
It would be awesome. That would be awesome.
like an HBO follow the team for the season sort of thing.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But do you follow World First? Do you care? Is it something that matters to you on any level at all?
I do follow World First. I think it's a great accomplishment, but I don't know. I wanted to ask you if you wanted to make a little wager on who's going to get World First.
Oh, what are we talking here?
We both pick a team, and I don't know. I'll figure up something. We'll figure up something for.
Oh, that
the winner
sounds.
to get.
This sounds like something that I totally should agree to. We'll just just pick one, and I'll tell you what it is later
Because
after.
I know who I'm banking on.
Whether my team wins or loses will determine the severity of the prize. This seems totally legit.
I know who I'm putting my money on. So.
All right, I'm down with it. Who is your money on?
Serenity.
All right, so let me do a quick little Twitter search real quick and see if any of the teams that I'm pulling for are actually still in it. Well, everybody. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we lost so many.
Yeah, so many broke up.
That's so not what I'm looking for. I don't need a free private Ragnarok online server and game community. Oh, there we go. You got to put guild on it. Are they going to be going? Are they going to be going? Of course they don't. Like, why are you're a world? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going for limit.
You gonna go for limit?
I'm going for limit. I'm going
There's still
for
method. They're still in the
I don't care.
Highland.
Authority, and we will unite our forces.
Easy alone.
Thank you so much for the host. If anybody wonders what that noise was in the middle of the podcast, because I totally can't edit that out. I should have turned that off. But Crazy Kazin, thank you so much to the host. I appreciate that, my friend. I definitely appreciate it. No, I'm gonna go with the I'm gonna go for the home team. I'm gonna say that a limit is going to make Azeroth great again.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice.
I think
But
they're gonna go out there.
I'm banking on Serenity.
I think they're gonna go out there and they're going to build a wall and they're gonna make Serenity pay for it.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's gonna happen. Chat room, what do you guys think? Anybody else want in on this? Aussie Guild had a good run last time. World First is great and all, but it doesn't affect my day. No, and Bruce, I agree with that. Although they find a lot of things in raids that I think that we never even hear about.
Yeah.
I can remember specifically in Hellfire Citadel on a Tuesday night being kicked out because of a patch for some exploit or some balancing issue during the world first race. I think it was on. It wasn't Archimon. They weren't to Archimon yet. It was on. Oh gosh, who was the giant butthead right before him? This has been how long since I've rated Hellfire. The giant Manroth.
Manaroth?
It was, yeah, I want to say it was, they were right around Manroth. Either Manroth or Zool. It was like right there. And they actually patched in the middle of the night on a Tuesday. Because of something that the world first teams were encountering. And no. Was it Archimon? It was one of the bosses was doing a mechanic that you only saw in Mythic, so I never saw it. And it was doing enough damage with one of its abilities that it would have required them to have 23 Disc Priests on their team to keep everybody up. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, that's nobody... See, not everybody starts at the same time, and I agree with that, Bruce. Like, there's not a pistol fire... But how close have any of the races been? Have they ever come down to like it would have been like 3 hours or 6 hours?
Like this, the last one, if I'm not mistaken, for Archimon came down to pretty quick. Like it was within a few hours, if I remember correctly.
But was it the team that had the head start that got it?
Method ended up winning it.
So did they have the head start?
They're EU, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess they did. But there was other EU guilds that weren't right there with them.
Yes, and some of the US guilds were right up there with them. I can't even remember. I know Sloot was still with Midwinter at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And yeah, I believe Draven is correct. I think that they take start times into account. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it should be. It like, I would love to have them sit in a stadium and pistol fire and have us be able to watch it.
Yeah, like, that would be pretty awesome.
But that can't happen just because of the nature of it. It's never going to be World First. Is never going to be an esport. It's always going to be something that we're reading from tweets and blog posts and comments from the players.
Or checking WoW progress.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the beautiful things that we can really enjoy about it. It's unique in the gaming world. I know that there's other stuff like it out there, but I don't think there's anything quite like World First. Mm-mm. And that race took out a lot of great teams last year.
Yeah, it did. A lot of them collapsed under Archimon.
So it'll be interesting. Maybe there'll be a golden unicorn show up. And actually, that would be a great name for a World First team if somebody wants to steal that. The Golden Unicorn.
You never know.
It would only be great if you win, because otherwise your team's named the Golden Unicorn, and like, what were you doing? But if you actually go on to win, then you're genius. So yeah, guys, I think that is going to bring us to a magic. Well, let me ask you this before I jump into shoutouts. Is there anything else that you would say for people coming in and raiding right now? Do you have anything else to say as a raid leader, especially maybe somebody that hasn't been around for like a couple tiers?
I actually just put a couple people on trial that have not raided since Wrath.
Wow.
Yeah, they came back and have not played World of Warcraft since Wrath. So I'm gonna try to give them a shot. We're gonna see what they got. But just be respectful to the raid leader and the raid team's policies, and be respectful to the core members that are on the team that you apply to, because they've been there. They've gone through the 200 wipes on Manaroth and Archimon and all that kind of stuff, and learn from them, especially if you haven't raided for a while or if you've never raided before. Take the opportunity to learn from the team members, from the raid leader, and just buckle down and have fun and laugh, because that's what it's about.
Right on. That is absolutely beautiful. And if I could add one or two things onto that, I am not a raid leader, nor do I ever want to be. I respect you people that are insane enough to take on that a ridiculous responsibility for killing digital dragons.
I've I've put in a lot of hours for the team to get ready for Tuesday. A lot of hours for strategies and stuff because we're trying to do our own and not copy somebody else's.
I would add in that guys remember it's not always about your DPS or your heals per second.
No.
It can also be about your DBAD PS. I'm stretching here. Your don't be a dick per second. Remember that a raid team, unless you are on a hardcore progression mythic, we need to do this now, we don't care how big of a dick you are, as long as you bring your gigantic DPS to the team, like you can treat everybody like crap and be a total butthead. The vast majority of teams out there aren't like that. Remember that fitting in and finding a raid team is as much about finding a family and a group of people that you're willing to spend massive amounts of time with, being very frustrated and trying to focus on killing digital dragons. And you need to get along with those people. Those people need to get along with you.
Yep.
So know that sometimes for the folks that are going to be trialing with teams, and especially for the folks that may not be staying with those teams that they're trialing with, know that leaving a raid team because of a personality clash, and I'm not talking about like there's one guy on the team that you don't really like and you probably just need to sack up, put on your big girl panties and deal with it like an adult. And not be a 5-year-old and start a high school teen musical drama about it. But I'm talking about like a legitimate, this is a fun, jovial, joking team, and your like total focus phase, don't want anybody to crack a joke. I personally, I will joke in the middle of a pull. I don't give an F. And if I'm not on a team that understands that, thank God the rubber chickens love me and appreciate me. And there's very few times I've been told to shut up. But I've gone and played with other teams. They're like, dude, what are you doing? This is a pull. This is progression. Stop talking. I'm just like, yeah, I can't raid with this. I can't do
different.
it. I can't handle it.
It's different. Like we during progression, we'll the first couple of times through, we're all serious and the chat's silent and we're focusing on making sure the right stuff is CC'd and the right things are getting killed first and all that kind of stuff. But when we start getting into farm mode and those first few bosses are coming second nature and muscle memory's kicking in and everybody's good to go, we'll joke through the pulls. But during progression, we're a little quiet and a little focused.
Yeah. And so I'm not joking the first time we pull it and people are trying to figure something out. But the 10th time when everybody has it and we're just screwing up because we're being stupid, I'd rather be laughing about something. And I throw myself into there because I brings the derp.
And that's us entirely. That's us entirely. When stuff is starting to become farm mode, it's just pull it and kill it and get it over with so we can get on to the next thing.
Yep. When stuff's becoming farm or when stuff's getting frustrating. Mm-hmm. And it's not a matter of we need to learn it. It's a matter we need to execute. I enjoy, I feel like a relaxed team is better than a, you couldn't drive a 10-penny nail somewhere. Thank you for laughing at that. And anyone that actually knows what a 10-penny nail is, please tweet me. I would be very, very interested to know if anyone in this digital age actually knows what a 10-penny nail is.
I do, but that's a different story.
Well then, Wicked. That's an entirely different podcast. The
I grew up on a farm. I know what a 10-penny nail is.
That's actually how I know, and probably where I heard the expression.
Yep.
I have plenty of old farming expressions I can bust out. So, all right, guys, this is going to bring us to a time we do a couple of shout-outs. Wicked! Do you have any shout-outs for us this week?
I have two. One to you, sir, because I always enjoy coming on your show, and I love when you come on my show. It's always a good time, and I appreciate that so much. And the second is to the Just Wipe It Raid team. Let's go kill some bosses Tuesday. Guys, I love them.
Right on. I cannot wait to see how quickly and how wonderfully having been able to hang out with you guys before, But I shall also shout out Just Wipe It. A raid team is oftentimes defined by the quality of leadership, but also by the quality of people on that team. And I have to say, Just Wipe It is one of the teams that, like, I'm really impressed with both their leadership and their membership. Amazing group of people that do some great things for the community, and have a pretty awesome raid leader
Oh,
in
thank you.
Wickedella.
Making me blush.
I know, right? Doing things. So first of all, shout out to, well, second of all, because we did the first of all, so then I can count. Second of all, to Wicked, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know it's late. I know you have to be up early, and thank you so much. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you. We got to play a little bit of Overwatch this week, and that was really cool. Also,
Yeah, that was fun.
that was a lot of fun. There's always somebody around that wants to try hard. I won't point any fingers at Totem. 'Cause I definitely wanted to. I was talking to somebody that was playing. He was like, "Man, we should have gone like 5 Mays. It would have been awesome." I was like, "Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
That was not gonna happen. Someone would have rage quit." And I don't mean someone plural. I mean someone would have rage quit.
Draven's cracking me up in chat right now. He's talking about my team name, and actually, Draven, there is a story behind my team name.
Uh oh.
Before I moved to Airy Peak to join CTR, I was on a Horde team, and there was 5 of us that moved to CTR at the same time and started the Just Wipe It team. Our raid leader, if one person died when we pulled the boss, she would call a wipe. She's like, just wipe it up, just wipe it up. So that's where our name came from, because it was a joke to us. We thought it was hilarious that we were doing a wipe for one person dying.
Wow.
So we laugh about it now, and now when we go to kill a boss, everybody just says wipe it up, just wipe it up. So it's a good joke with the whole team. Everybody loves it, so we have a good time with it.
Oh, that is awesome. And that's one of those things, like, there's so many great stories out there. Guys, if you're thinking about raiding in World of Warcraft, put yourself out there. Go do it. Because you want to have some of these amazing and incredible stories with people that, like, I can honestly say some of the people on Rubber Chicken, some of the people on Bacon and Kegs, like, have become like family to me.
Yeah,
like, I
absolutely.
care about these people. You spend an amazing amount of time with them. They become some of your best friends or your worst enemies. If they become your worst enemies, find another team. But no, they're find yourself a raid team, and that'll bring me to my final shout out to Rubber Chicken Coalition. Guys, I'll be around in a couple weeks. Keep my mad DPS spot warm. Don't worry, I'll be there in a couple weeks. We'll clear it all. I'll bring my rogue level of DPS, and it'll be great. I just gotta decide. I have a shaman that I'm thinking about bringing up too.
There you go. Ellie's are pretty stout right now.
Well, that's what it feels like. And we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but it feels like to me it's going to be really rough to maintain multiples.
It is. It's going to be hard.
And I want to try to make I want to make my decision correctly the first time.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pour all the time into gearing up and then go, oh man, crap, I hate this. And then end up hating raiding because of it. So I don't know. We will see. So guys, get out there, do some raiding, do some stuff like that. Guys, this is an amazing and wonderful and magical time of the show where I get down on my virtual knees and I both beg and I plead with you to leave those all-important 5-star iTunes reviews. So, guys, remember, leave 5 stars for the Game Case Show. That is 5 stars for the Game Case Show. I want you to leave 2 stars for... I do these on the spot. And my dog is running around outside the door. And it totes threw me off. So I want you to leave 2 stars for, well, I'm the most important DPS at the raid. I get all the gear. Why don't you give me the gear? A show about being a little sensitive whilst raiding. So, guys, that is 5 stars for the Game Case Show, 2 stars for the Whiny Hunter. An amazing and incredible new podcast coming to you soon. Wicked, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Wickedella_wow. You can find me sometimes streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Wickedella. Or you can catch my podcast, the Overplayed Podcast. Comes out on Fridays.
Woohoo! And that is, let me give you a moment to talk about that real quick before we get out of here. What is this? What is this podcast that you do? Is it about records that are played too much on the radio?
Yes.
Okay,
no,
cool.
Not really. It's actually an Overwatch podcast.
Oh, I've heard of that game.
Myself and Julie from the Midwinter Guild are talking all things Overwatch. And it gets pretty interesting in there.
Nice.
Pretty interesting.
Nice.
We've actually had you on the show. We'd love to have you back. I'm just putting that out there.
Literally, that was the first game of Overwatch I played in 3 months.
Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks for me, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have time. There's so many games.
I don't either. I don't have time either. I try to play just enough to have stuff to talk about on the show right now.
Yeah.
So
I would like to. I had a lot of fun, and I'd like to get back into it a little bit more, though. Overwatch is a great game.
Well, we have our listener games the last Friday of every month, where if you're a show listener or just want to pop in and play Overwatch, you're more than welcome. We do some crazy stuff in custom games. So come in and check that stuff out. It's pretty freaking hilarious. We do 6v6 Reinhardt, 6v6 Mercies. That one was interesting. Random hero spawn. We do damage and health modifiers and crazy stuff and Genji tennis and Diva golf. Loads of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, with that, guys, that is going to do it for episode 61. Wow. If you'd like to join our live audience and hang out in the chat room, come join us on twitch.tv/thegamecase at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, most every Sunday. You'll also find me here 6 nights a week streaming and laughing with the chat room. Thank you guys so much for listening to episode 61 of The Game Case. You can find me on Twitter at Mullet863. You can find the show at The Game Case Show. You can download us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Catch recordings of the live show or our tips, tricks, and kill videos at youtube.com/The Game Case. Or you can find all of the things on the official site of The Game Case Show, thegamecase.com. Gosh, I say Game Case a lot. Wickedella, say bye.
Bye, guys.
Game Case out.
Thank you for joining us this week inside the Game Case. Please join us next week for more news, tips, and ramblings about the World of Warcraft. Game Case out.